welcome back to Hour 2 of Blades in the Dark. I'm still Matt. That's still Anthony. Emily is dead. Not really, but she's not there. That's not really her. Mike's there and Ian's there. And we are headed into Hour 2 of Week 3 of Blades in the Dark. Mike, what did we come to over the course of this break?
Sorry, I do have a cough drop, by the way.
What did we come to?
That doesn't sound good.
No.
We're dead.
Halls. If you want to sponsor us, Halls, then I would accept. Okay, so the Devil's Bargain I'll offer is +1 heat on the score afterwards. I liked John's suggestion for that. It's a pretty good fallback for scores if we don't come up with anything, and it has some good reasoning for why that would happen too. You know, you guys are gonna make a bigger impression than you originally intended by going through this if you accept the Devil's Bargain.
That's an interesting one because, you know, we have to choose our enemies pretty wisely, and if we receive an extra heat on this, is heat like necessarily directed within a certain faction? Like, would this heat be related to our relationship with the Red Sashes? Just heat in general?
No.
Like,
Just
more
heat.
people would have heard about it in general?
It's like more people hear about it, and then the cops find out about it eventually.
You know what I say? I say we got to make a reputation for ourselves. I say,
Yes.
let's do it.
Let's do it.
Do it! Yes!
Guys, let's
Okay.
do it, guys.
So I imagine. Oh, okay. Well, that was weird.
Yeah.
Okay, we're done. Moving on. I think the way that this plays out is something I imagine somehow, and I'd love to roleplay this scene because I think it'd be cool. Wakasis like has this moment of realization that, like, you know, if they see us, like, they're gonna remember us. How does that scene go for us?
That's a good question.
I thought I was your son.
How? I'm sorry.
Dear father, what are you doing?
How I'm explaining this to you, or
Sure.
or my mental image of how this is gonna go.
So how your character is explaining this to our characters is what I
Okay.
was going for.
Okay. So I mean, Wakasis, when he's walking in through this plan, like, all right. So we're just gonna go in there. It's like someone that already understands how to do something, and has no comprehension of what's difficult about it. Is explaining it to you. This is the kid in your math class that
Sure.
already is on the next class, trying to explain the basic idea that the teacher's trying to tell you today. So he's talking too fast, you know, walking through it. All right, so you just go in there like you know it. I mean, come on, it's no big deal. We're just they're hanging out, we're hanging out. It's normal. We're just some regular guys. They bring in yoo-hoos like you two all the time, just trying you out, just seeing what's going on, just learning about the neighborhood.
I just
about
put
the community.
my hand
you
on
know?
his shoulder and I say, "Wakasis, is that a problem?"
Nah. You'll do great. Just be cool. Just be cool. Just don't say anything, especially you. I point to the big man and I say, "You be real quiet."
I think Silas looks at Oscar, completely ignoring what Wakasis is insulting him essentially, and he's like, "Mate, I think what he's saying is if we walk in acting like we own the place, maybe they'll just think we do."
In my experience, that's been the case in my time as an investigator. If you walk in and act like you belong, then you might just do that.
It helps if you have a clipboard too.
That's true.
Exactly
Or-
right. You
or
don't need a
saving us.
clipboard.
Wakasis pulls the clipboard out.
That from bird notice. Walking with
Just
the
stay
clipboard.
nice and quiet.
So Oscar pulls out documents from his backpack and starts holding them and looking through them as they're walking. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I say,
All right, let's make that group action.
yeah.
So
All
everyone's gonna get another dice on their roll because of the DB.
and
Devil's
okay. So what am I rolling here?
Sway.
Sway. Okay, and can I push myself on this?
We took
Not
a Devil's Bargain,
Devil's Bargain.
so no
Okay.
pushing yourself.
So when I roll a 0 on Sway, I should add 1.
Yeah.
If you have 0 in Sway, you will roll 1 dice
Yeah.
Excellent.
instead of rolling 2 and taking the worst.
I got a 2.
I got a 1.
All right, so that's 1 stress.
Oh,
that's
2 stress.
stress.
For
Please mark 2
Wakasis.
stress, Wakasis.
You're killing me.
But you did it.
Yeah,
I'm
you
imagining
did it.
We did it.
like looking you up and down, and I'm just like sweating, like
This is-
like neither of you fit the description of a red sash at all. Just like this
you-
weird old guy and like a big,
This is
angry,
so
dirty
fitting.
man.
It's so fitting because you're the only one that actually looks like you belong there. So this result is perfect. I like it.
I imagine that the face that Wakasis gives us as he looks back and realizes that this is going to go terribly wrong for us is the same face that Emily's making in this thumbnail. Like,
Yeah, you guys are not acting cool, you know? So
I think Silas and Oscar are probably just chatting about just random stuff they shouldn't be at this conversation.
well, yeah,
just
I think that Oscar in general, like his version of playing it cool is just different than what Casis is, because Oscar, like his whole job, most of his life was playing it cool and getting into places he technically shouldn't be. So like he knows how to play cool, he just does it in a different way, and so it doesn't mesh very well with what Casis is trying to lead. And yeah, so it ends up looking like a 2, but to him it's a 5.
Yeah. I think Silas probably doesn't even try to act nonchalant. He's just being himself.
Right, like Silas'
Which is
version of acting
very-
natural is like bending
Yeah,
over
which
eating
is like-
grass.
No,
we
it's
should have
more like
established this beforehand, but this
being
was a risky
extra
roll.
scary, essentially.
Yeah. And you said this was a risky roll?
Yeah, we should have established that before we rolled, but this was a risky roll.
That makes sense.
You know, we'll get in the habit of establishing that as we play. You
Yeah,
know,
it's just like Destiny Dice with Age of Rebellion. We're gonna forget it a lot.
it should be established before we roll,
Okay.
just so we all know.
Okay.
So you rolled a 5, so you do it. But there's a consequence, suffer harm, complication. You have reduced effect, where you end up in a desperate position.
I think ending
Okay.
up in a desperate position makes sense because we're kind of strung out a little bit.
I will tell you what form that desperate position takes.
Okay.
So you're walking through these hallways. Do you still have your spirit mask on?
Well, yes, they do look like normal glasses that are black.
Yeah. So you're trying to follow this wispy trail that's leading through the tunnels.
Kinda, yeah.
You're
It's not so much that I'm like that's all I can see. It's just that is kind of like highlighted for me.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I can still see like what cases.
Yeah, you can still see everything else, but you know that that's the path that Willie took, or
Okay.
the path that he left you,
Sure.
to follow. So you can follow that, and you're walking through the halls, and they're all fairly dimly lit. They got torches on the walls spaced every so often. It's cobblestone floors and arched ceilings.
And what
Kinda
what
like-
color are the lights? Because these are electric lights, right?
Oh yeah, not torches. That's my bad. I'm in Dungeons and Dragons.
I mean, they could be
dungeon
torches,
mode.
right? You totally
know?
could have that. So.
I mean, are torches a thing?
I mean,
in
lamp
this-
blacks probably
this
wish, right?
Yeah,
I mean-
I'd imagine the Red Sashes probably have electric lights just for that purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to make them
Yeah.
really
So-
uncomfortable when they come hang out at HQ.
So yeah, it's not torches, but the dim electric blue glow of these lights spaced every so often. So it kind of gives this kind of like a haunting vibe, kind of like it's slightly uncomfortable and unnatural looking, So you're walking through the tunnels, and at one point you turn the corner, and you run into a trio of Red Sashes, and they bump into you, and one of them says, "Ah, God, where have you?" And he looks at Wakasis and looks at the other two. He's like, "Where the hell have you been? Why are you so dirty?"
I like stand up really close to him, like wave my arms really big, so he's looking at me, not these two weird guys behind me. And I
He's
say,
paying attention to you.
I had to clean again. Can you believe this? 3 weeks in a row, and I'm the guy that has to clean up. Look at this.
And he says, "At least these two had the sense to change out of their Red Sash uniforms. Why'd you... these are expensive to clean, right?"
Yeah,
Come on.
wait till I have to clean their uniforms too.
Well, right now, come on, let's go. We're gonna get you guys changed. Go on.
We follow them.
As we kind of walk, I imagine that there's a bit of a brisk pace because it smells like shit.
Yeah.
And so, like, Oscar clearly not being able to walk at a brisk pace, comfortably at least, he kind of like talks forward just freely. He's like, "Could you slow down for an old man?"
No.
All right, then I'll see you there.
Like,
And I just keep on with my normal pace as fast as I can comfortably.
all right. Yeah. They lead you to another door, and one of them just opens it and ushers you in. And as you guys enter, it looks like a little laundry room. There's some big wooden wash bins with washboards for scrubbing clothes, and there's some fairly dry. There's definitely some dry uniforms up on some racks on the sides, and he says, "Chop, chop, get to it. Clean these uniforms, hang them up over there, and get some new ones, and then meet us back outside here."
Hey, Mike.
Yep.
How many Red Sashes are in the room now?
Well,
Would you
you
say
were
a
being
small gang?
escorted. You were being escorted by 3, and there's probably, I'd say there's probably about half a dozen in the laundry room. A couple of them are just getting on their uniforms, just getting ready to leave. But a few of them look like they're also trying to wash some uniforms.
Hmm.
Desperate position, remember?
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys are ushered into this laundry room. The 3 that were escorting you look like they're waiting outside, and they're leaving you with the rest of whoever's in here.
Okay. I guess I would look awkwardly and kind of disappointedly at Wakasis. Kind of like I'm thinking like maybe he did like this is his fault kind of thing because like I'm not seeing it's my fault. And I kind of like give him this look like nice job, and then I guess I go to like start cleaning uniforms.
Willie immediately
only
starts
ones-
stripping out of his clothing.
The only ones
just
there.
like the old guy in
old-
the,
old
in the
man in
locker
the-
room who's
just-
just like, whatever, like, I guess I'll just get naked now. Here's my fuzzy dick. Like,
the only ones they're expecting you to clean are the ones that you're wearing, and then hang those up. So
Okay.
I like. So how many other Red Sashes are in the room with us?
about half a dozen. 6.
Okay, I mean, I want to like sidle up to one of them, one of the younger ones, cleaning my uniform next to him, kind of elbow him and say, "Hey, I was just on toilet duty. Are those guys gonna send me to do something worse?"
He's like, "It depends. Depends on how much you pissed them off on the way here."
Already dealt with plenty of that. I think I was pretty nice, right, guys?
Willie just is like, very kind.
Silas.
Like he's off on the other side of the room, just like taking off his pants. And, like, I guess I have to strip now. Playing it cool, my man.
Silas is like his shirt's off now, and you can see all these like weird tats and kind of like strange markings on him, and he just gives Wakasis this look, and he's like, "Yeah, they were." He's like, "Yeah, mate, they were so hospitable."
So, well, we'll see what they want with you after we're done.
All right, next friend.
So they want us to clean what we're wearing and then put on new uniforms.
Yep.
So, okay,
That's what they want.
Willie's,
I'll do it.
Willie's standing there naked, washing his clothes.
You mean Oscar?
That's what I meant.
Hey man, playing 2 characters is hard.
It is. It is. It really
I wouldn't
is,
know what
actually.
that's like.
I'm trying to keep the Willy jokes to a one a session maximum, so I'm just gonna skate on past that one.
They're the equivalent of I have a bad feeling about this in Star Wars. Well, that was not a Willie
Maybe-
joke, although Oscar's Willie is out. But like, he is just
One
standing
per
there-
person, really.
He's standing there at a basin, like trying, like he's washing his clothes. So
Excellent.
Yeah. Why do we? Okay, fine. So, yeah, it doesn't take forever to do this. You guys can wash them, hang them up, and then try to find some appropriately sized uniforms for you. For the most part, I think you're successful. I think they have a decent size selection, so you're probably able to find the right size uniforms for you.
Okay.
I got one other thing I want to ask my new friend.
Yeah.
I introduced myself this time. I say, hey, I'm Bilbo. Pretty new around here, but didn't catch your name. What's your name?
He says, listen, I know that you're new here, but I'm not here to make friends. But my name's Sam, right?
All right, Sam.
Sam and Bilbo are having a conversation while an old man's willy is out, right?
All right, Sam. I don't need much. I'm just saying, I'm here for money. They screwed up my paycheck. Who do I gotta talk to about that?
Well,
Well done.
you're how new here?
First paycheck.
Well, then you might not want to talk to anyone about it yet. No.
I say,
You're-
I've been here for a while longer, and I think he wants to talk.
Says, well, you don't know
I just
how
want to understand how it works.
you get paid when you get paid.
Oh, I got paid. It just wasn't right.
Silas slides on over to Oscar. He's like, Oscar, what the fuck are you guys doing? Yeah, we're not here for paychecks. We're here for something else. Get back on
Oscar
fucking
fixes his
track."
glasses and looks up, and he's still totally naked, and he's like, Silas, I'm here to wash my clothes.
And Silas is already clothed and ready to go, and he's like,
He notices that Silas is already dressed, and he's like, oh, and then he goes to the counter to the left and pulls the thing off and puts it on.
Yeah.
So he's
You
now
guys-
getting dressed.
You guys are all wearing the Red Sash initiate uniforms now. So you can exit out, and the three that were escorting you are still waiting there, and say, about time. All right, follow us.
I follow, with an old man's pace.
All right, they take you through the halls and up a couple flights of stairs, and it looks like you've come out into the main building area. You're out of the underground area, and you're into the main building. And it goes from gray cobblestone floors to it looks like what used to be good white marble. It's older at this point, so it's a little faded, but it's a definite step up from the cobblestone tunnels that you just came from.
A step up, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's better quality. It's marble still. You can still tell it's marble, but it's not, bright
So-
and shining like something in Brightstone would be.
So as soon as I notice that the quality of the building is increasing and it's getting a little bit more luxurious, I say to the men, I say, "You'll have to excuse an old man's eyes. Where exactly are you taking us?"
Well, it's time for training.
Training.
Damn straight. You guys are a little late. Those gentlemen down there, they just finished. You were supposed to be with them. So come on.
I give Silas the look that says, if there's no one around, we should kill these guys.
yeah, that's what I was about to ask Mike. Mike, is there anyone around?
As you start to exit out into the main entry area, or at least what looks like a larger room that you're exiting into, there's some stairs that lead up to a balcony, and it overlooks this foyer. And you can see a couple people walking around up on the balcony and up and down the staircase. It's not super crawling with people. And also, as you're being let out into this room, you can look to your left, and to your left is where you would see the stairs, and they lead up to a balcony, and then come down the other side. And underneath the balcony, there's a hallway that leads down to this big iron door with a big crank on it, and it looks like a combination
Okay.
dial.
Well, as soon as we enter somewhere where there's no one around, let me know.
Okay. Yeah,
I'll keep following them. As soon as there's no
Okay.
one around, let me know.
Sure. They take you straight across that room, through another door, into what looks like a dojo area. It's got padded floor, and there's.
Can I do a flashback before we get there?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I'd like to try to change our path a little bit. I'd like to do a flashback, which I understand would cause me some stress, which is fine, but I just need to know how much when we get there. I would like to have a flashback where we see Oscar in the lair with a page in front of him with a red sash stamp on that page, and it's a general like exemption notice, like it's sort of like a hall pass, if you will, or the equivalent of such, where it says like, hey, I know that you think you know what you're doing, but he doesn't actually have to go to that thing. And it's pretty vague in general. Like, it doesn't say, like, Oscar does not need to go into this training room, because I don't think he would have known that. But, like, it's sort of this general exemption notice with, a forged signature on it that says, like, hey, this guy just needs to go talk to the guy in the treasury. Or he needs to go talk to the guy wherever the treasury is, or in this department. Please excuse him from all other regular activities while he and his crew go do that. And I imagine that, well, that's the flashback. We see him doing that. And what I want to do is, before we enter that room, I want to open my satchel and say, you said training back there, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I think we've got a misunderstanding. I'm very sorry. You'll have to excuse my old man ears. I'm not a trainee. In fact, I've got this notice, and I pull it out of my bag. We're supposed to go meet someone. I'm not sure his name. Again, my old man eyes. I can't read the paper, but it's a name. We're supposed to go meet a man downstairs near Treasury. It's about what cases to pay.
So, when do you want this flashback to occur?
As we're walking toward that, before we go into that training room.
Okay.
So my goal is to just avoid the training situation altogether.
Well, the flashback would have to take place before the score,
correct.
Setting up how the heck did you get these documents, right?
So Oscar, in his history as a investigator, has used documents for his entire life to do that. This is one of the things I'm carrying. I'm light loaded right now. One of the things I'm carrying is documents. And he's done his fair share of forgery in the past. It's nothing that again, the red sash seal isn't it's not like an official boom, there's the red sash seal. It's just kind of it looks like a red sash document in general. It's kind of like the equivalent of if you get spam mail that looks like it's a legit thing from the government, but it's totally not. It's or something that looks like a bill, but it's actually just a credit card application. It's sort of that level of forgery, where it's just a general notice that kind of looks like, when it's all folded up, that it could be a red sash thing. And if you open it, if you just glance through it, it'll say okay, sure, and yeah, it's not high level, but it's also just something that Oscar knows how to do, is to make something that in general will kind of get him out of these sticky situations.
Okay. So that flashback would cost you 1 stress.
I'll take it.
Okay. Go ahead and mark 1 stress.
I already have so much stress in my life.
Oh yeah. How much stress are you at now?
In real life or in the game? In the game, I'm only at 2 stress, actually.
Okay.
So
I got 4, baby.
So Willie is actually still doing pretty fine.
Woo.
So that, let's see. I think that sounds like. What kind of role do you think that would be?
It's a good question.
Sway?
I would say so, because it's a bluff, maybe?
Well, I would say this is mainly me just kind of wanting to have something that's actually good, but it's also, I think it's a smart one. I'd like it to be study, because this is something where he's like it's not that he like is planning on doing it with his suaveness or like his ability to write well. It's more that he's done this a lot and he knows how to forge stuff, and like he has researched the people that he's, like he's not unfamiliar with like looking at a document and studying a document and figuring out how to forge it. Similarly, like I could have said, he forged a document from Bazo Baz because we had that letter that was from him. It's sort of one of those things where eventually somewhere down the line he interacted with a Red Sash and kind of dug it up and was like, oh yeah, this is kind of what their documents look like.
Yeah, but the forgery itself isn't necessarily studying a document, is it?
No, but
study?
again, it's not a matter of like actually forging. The signature part, it can be errata to not that. It's really, it can be errata to literally circles on a paper. It's more of the forgery of understanding how the general form of a paper works. It's like knowing how to write a resume without knowing the person's resume stuff on it,
Yeah.
I think this. I don't know if this counts as study because study's more of actually studying it.
Well,
and
that's what I'm saying. He's done in the past for the sake of the flashback.
Okay.
He's studied how to like he studied documentation.
yeah, but this is more of a bluffing. You're bluffing him into looking at this and going into it with a mind. Whereas studying more falls around. Well, you would be studying it to see if it was real.
Okay, but hold on. Let me say this. I'm not trying to. We're rolling for the flashback right now, which isn't the action of me handing him something, because that's as simple as me handing him something. I don't think I need to roll for telling him to look at this document. But I'm rolling for the action of me in the past having already looked at a Red Sash document and saying, if I need a get out of jail free card, what do I need to write for this? And having said, in the past, this is what a Red Sash document looks like, and in general, I can do something kind of like it. So
I think that the argument you're making is convincing, so I will allow the study roll.
Okay.
So that's a study roll. Would you like a devil's bargain or push yourself?
I'm just gonna do it.
Or hold on a second. You can push yourself on flashbacks because once you pay the stress cost, it just functions like a normal roll. So you totally can push yourself again for a flashback.
Right. I'm actually just going to just do it. I don't. In my mind,
Okay.
I don't imagine that it would have been a push yourself situation. It's kind of a second. It wouldn't have been Willie's or Oscar's primary thing. It would have been his secondary plan.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And the flashback will be taking place on a controlled status,
right,
because this would have been way back, like in your lair. You're not under pressure at that time. So
Okay.
yeah.
Cool. Then I will roll study. And I'm adding 0 to my roll, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. A 5.
5. Okay. Alright, you do it, but there's a consequence. It takes extra time, reduced effect, or you suffer lesser harm.
He punches me.
You're in a risky position. Okay.
Yeah, I think that I mean, well, I'm just trying to help you out from a GM perspective. I could either see it being I'm in a worse position, like I'm in a desperate position for any encounter in which like that guy is still around, because he is now under the ruse that we're supposed to be doing something with it or going to a specific, like if he's like, okay, here's the guy, I'm like, hey, or like or the reduced effect one is just like, again, the document's kind of shoddy. Ian, did you have something to add?
I was just thinking simply being like, okay, yeah, you can go over there, but we're coming with you. Because
could be something like that. It could be. Let's see. You said that. That's more in regards to what you say at the time, not in regards to the flashback. So, the role for the flashback, I think that it has to be, something in regards to how well or how quality are the documents, right? That's what I think. So I think that what would happen with that is, they're gonna be good. You did the forgery, so I can't take that away from you, right? So it's either reduced effect or you end up in a risky position. I think those are the only two options. I think you said that, Matt. So we are gonna call it a risky position. So you're gonna hold on a second. No, that's for the forgery. Yeah. So I have made my decision.
I am ready for your decision.
Okay.
This
So-
game's tough for sure. It's fun though.
It's fun. I like
This
it
is
a
the fun
lot.
part.
I should say the tough part is deciding these things, not that the
Yeah.
game itself is tough.
That's way more fun than like mechanics.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Tie you down.
So, the forgery is a success, right? You have the documents, and you are about to enter the training room, right? And he starts to open the door, and that's when you think you want to interrupt him and give him the documents.
Well, I guess like before he opens the door was my hope. But even if it's as he's opening the door, or just kind of as we approach the door, really, like at the moment
Okay.
when Oscar realizes that he needs to pull the oh shit button is basically like it. It's like oh no, we're going into a training area. You know, excuse me a moment. You know,
He has his hand on the door handle, and he stops, and he says, "What?"
I reach into my bag and I pull it out and hand it to him. I say, well, I say what I already said. There's a misunderstanding, and I have this letter. We need to go see a guy downstairs, I guess. Sorry for wasting your time.
He takes the letter from you, looks at it, says, "All right, seems legit.
Yeah, I look at it
Well-
and I'm like, I'm sorry it got a bit wet in the bathroom incident.
Says, all right, it doesn't say specifically where you're meeting this guy.
It's
Uh,
somewhere near the treasury. I understand.
He says, well, the treasury, it's right over there, and he points to the big iron door, under the balcony
Uh-huh.
that you guys passed on your way across this room.
Uh-huh.
He says it's through there. I suppose the accountant might be in there.
I say, sure. Perhaps we're supposed to wait for him out here. Perhaps we'll just wait. I'm really
Summon
trying,
the money master.
or we can summon the money master. Does what case
Says-
say that?
Bilbo does say that, yes.
Okay, Bilbo says. Everyone's playing two characters.
Yeah, he says, you wanna wait inside here? And he opens up the door.
For the
To the
training.
training?
area? Oh no,
Yeah.
that's okay. Is there like sunlight or anything? Is there anything like painting on the wall or anything nearby?
There is, but also you can look into the training room and it's empty.
That's strange.
Well, they left
Well,
us
they had-
behind, right?
Oh,
They left
sure,
us out.
Sure.
Yeah.
I defer the decision to the rest of the party. Oscar's like, I imagine Oscar's like looking around the room for an excuse as to why he'd like to stay, but like you guys are more progressively thinking about what Mike just said.
Yeah. So my first
He
question.
says,
was-
As he says that, he says, another group's due to come in about 5 minutes or so. So
What so the door to the vault, what, like, is it shielded? Like could we tamper with it without anyone seeing us?
you could, at this time, definitely not tamper with it without being noticed.
I'm just saying, if we don't have these guards with us and it's just us three over by that door messing with it, could people see us?
If you don't have these 3 guards with you, it's a lot more likely that you can do it without being seen.
Okay. I say, as Silas, I think we should go wait in here for a little bit. And I walk into the training room and I wait for all of them to come in.
I scratch my nose and walk in.
Money master, and I follow them in.
Is there like a
He
bench?
says,
Sorry, go ahead.
oh, never mind. No, yeah, there's benches and
I
stuff.
sit down on a bench.
No, I'm standing next to the door holding it open.
I walk in the room. I stand near the door.
Mike, just tell me when these guys enter the room. That's what I'll do my next thing.
Oh, I meant to say I sit on a bench like in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They enter after the rest of y'all do.
Okay. As soon as they enter, the door is shut, and I attack them from behind. With my now...
From behind!
Yeah. So as they walk, I'm basically like
Punching them in the
am
back of the
attempting
head.
to just I just like slam my fist into one guy's head, hit another guy in the other head, and like grapple
Wait,
another
what do you mean in the other head?
like his head.
I know, I'm just
Which
giving you
one?
crap.
I mean, I could hit the other
Uh.
head, so but he might scream. So
Yeah.
I'm attempting to basically try to sneak attack one of them and kill. I'm trying to like take them all out in one go. Is what I'm saying.
What kind of roll do you think that is for you?
I mean, I think it's a skirmish because I'm attacking from behind and I'm kind of like using my fist weapons. So
Okay. Yeah, do you want Devil's Bargain?
I'm gonna
or-
push myself because I want to make sure that this is.
Is there any sort of way that Oscar can help out by, say, like tripping someone, like just putting out his foot while he's sitting on the bench, or like?
Yeah, that's an assist maneuver. You can
I'm not-
take a stress to give me a die.
Yeah.
I'll do that under the understanding that it's like, I'm putting
Yeah.
out my foot and like trying to like reach it out there and like.
Yeah.
I'll do that for
Okay.
you, man.
Okay.
Do you want to
Sweet.
contribute in any way with cases?
I was actually going to say the same thing because I'm standing next to the door.
Well, we can only have one assist on the roll, unfortunately.
So I
Well, in that case,
don't.
I can let Wacasis do it if you want, Anthony. And if
Oh, it doesn't matter.
okay, well, I have less stress than you, so maybe it makes sense. It would be
You
easier
go for it.
me to. Yeah,
I'm
I'll
just
do
trying
that.
to keep the blood off my shoes at this point.
Yeah, maybe you're like
Yeah.
reaching down and like brushing off your shoes. And
And what's
Yep.
the effect of this roll, by the way?
The effect, because you are a small gang, great effect.
Okay. I'm gonna roll.
don't forget to add your die from me.
I did. So this
And
goes. Oh no.
whoa,
That
Should've
is
had my
the
help.
worst.
whoa, that's just
Yikes.
straight up does not happen. Yeah.
Oops.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Wow, on 4 dice.
Okay. Ooh, let's see. How can we make this interesting?
Maybe it rolls into a desperate?
Maybe I can't get this shit off my shoes.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna
Okay.
go to a
I have
desperate
a-
position.
I have a question for you in this case. Is there any way to recover from this sort of thing? Like, is there any way that like within
Wait.
the game mechanics, the Oscar can just like be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to trip you. Oh, he must have tripped into you. Oh, how strange." Like, I don't know if that's a thing that can happen, like retroactively with these sorts of roles or not.
I'm gonna say as my character, and because I just rolled so horribly on that, there's probably no way that knowing Silas that he can recover from that. He like took his metal fist and swung it at a dude's head. Like
Yep, I'm with you.
there's only one outcome of that.
Yep,
Yep.
you're screwed.
Yeah.
So you're gonna end up in a desperate position.
Okay.
Is what's gonna happen, and they are gonna attempt to fight back. Yes.
I study intently.
Oh!
Sorry, I was reading the chat. Admiral Duxas said, "Time for that desperate study roll."
Yeah.
He's making fun of me because I said maybe I go to a desperate position on study, which doesn't make sense.
You're desperately. Unless it's finals
That's-
week.
I was gonna say I've desperately studied before. It's it's a thing.
It's not very
Yeah.
effective.
You cast desperate study. It's not very effective.
You
so what's
missed.
happening to my character now?
How do I
Well-
die?
You go to punch one of them in the back of the head, and he leans forward a bit to bend down and pick up a towel that someone had left on the ground, and so you just whiff completely and punch one of the other guys in the arm, and he's like, "What?"
That's what I say too. What?
And then he freaking backhands you, and you go against the wall,
Okay.
and then they turn to face you with their swords drawn.
I pull my Rage Essence vial that was in my other hand, and I swill it, just like straight up down it, and then I lunge at them.
All right. A Rage Essence Vial. Let's see, what does that do exactly? It says a single dose of Rage Essence, which greatly enhances the user's strength, resistance to pain, and irrational aggression for the span of several minutes.
Urge to kill rising.
All right.
That's excellent.
Yeah. All right. So, how do y'all want to handle this?
Well, I think this is probably going to a desperate attack roll from the last one. Because normally what happens is it rolls over into... So I'm rolling with the same dice pool, but from a desperate position. With reduced effect. Which is not... I mean, it's not horrible. It's just reducing my effect, which I'm already getting bonuses from my weapon and being a small gang. So, yeah, I think this is Silas now. Like, as they turn to face him, he's like, "This is gonna be fun," and then he gets angry because he just drank some anger juice.
Right.
Me too, man, you know.
And,
yeah, happens
rolling-
sometimes.
You're rolling desperate, so go ahead and mark XP for that.
Sweet. All right.
Now, let's see. Does everyone end up in a desperate position, or just you?
Sorry, I love the chat. I'm happy to go into a desperate position as well in this skirmish because my foot was out, so like it makes sense to me that like either someone like runs into my ankle and I'm like off balance on the bench, or like I'm just I'm also sitting down. I'm not exactly in a great position to like skirmish. So
and Vacasis is just thrown off by the shit that's on his boots.
He's like
At this point,
Like distracted.
Yeah. It's like, oh man. As Silas lunges towards three guys and brawl. Okay. Yeah.
What does everyone else want to be doing while Silas is trying to punch these dudes to death? Probably going to succeed, you know.
I mean,
so
it didn't last time.
So I think that Oscar actually just like sits there and plays it cool. Like he just watches. He recognizes that like now that we're in a full-on like brawl, there is no place for me to be here. He might be like watching for an opportunity to try to trip someone or something or hit someone with a cane, but he's not even standing up actually.
Okay. Now, if I remember right, you pushed yourself initially, right?
Hmm.
And for this, you're going to be rolling with the same dice pool. Does that mean that I can't offer you a devil's bargain?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, that's what I assume. John might be able to say differently, but I'm just taking it as it's the same thing.
Speaking of our good friend Juan, he just said that the faction rolls mean desperate XP for everyone.
Sweet.
So.
Okay.
Well, wait. So but this wasn't a group one though. This was
the first one was.
The attack to the initial attack was an assisted individual action, not a group action that was led by someone.
Plus, it also wasn't desperate. It's this attack that I'm doing now that's desperate.
Yep. So if you guys want to go in on a group action for this roll, then that would mean desperate XP for everyone.
I love XP.
But it also means that I'm going to be taking a lot of stress, which I'm at 5 already. If we fail this, I'm going to be taking a lot of stress.
Hey, aren't you trauma rushing anyway?
I'm more along the lines of going like, if it happens, it happens. So if you guys want to do a group action, I'm cool with that.
You know what? Actually, I rescind my previous statement. I think Oscar would try to stand up and he would push himself for the effort of hitting someone with a cane. Like just getting his cane and like classic old man beating someone with a cane, just like ah! But without the screaming.
Okay. So, group action or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
It depends. Does Vacasis want to?
Oh, true.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like a little off guard about the whole thing, but I'm pretty fast to throw a knife at someone.
Right.
All right.
Like I don't think I don't think either of us expected suddenly Silas attacks.
I mean,
so.
I'm down there. That's where my knife is. I'm gonna try and huck that at someone.
Okay. So we're rolling a group skirmish action then.
Yeah.
I guess.
Sweet.
Okay.
So everyone's going to roll skirmish.
Look, chat, it's awesome.
Do either of you have?
Neither of them have any points.
But I'm pushing myself for it.
I have prowl.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
So I take a stress when I push myself, right?
2 stress.
Dose stress. Okay, so I should have another stress then. So I'm at 6 stress, as it turns out. It's been a very stressful day for our good friend Oscar. I added a third one because I hadn't taken a second one previously. To anyone that's super astute watching. Okay, so I'm gonna roll.
So-
Sorry, go ahead, Anthony.
Well, I just had a question. You can go ahead and roll first. How about that?
Okay,
And then we'll get to mine.
I will do that. I will add an extra 1 to my roll, and I will
I'm
roll
gonna roll 2.
a 1. Oh, and I will go to the break screen.
Crit!
Boom!
I got 3 6s.
All right, 3
Really?
6s. What happened? Okay, they disintegrate. And you guys just have the treasure. You know. All right, they explode, and the money it just comes out of their bodies. You know.
That's where they had it.
That's where they
We did it.
No.
Huge guts.
Alright, I still need a roll from Wakasis though.
Yeah.
Skirmish roll.
Well,
So I
well,
take
now
a-
what I do is just get a team. I was gonna say that I wanted
That's
to try
fine.
my
I
sweet
don't
Rook's
mind.
my sweet
I
Rook's
can.
Gambit skill. Like I'm down there trying to act really interested in my boots, and I see what's happening, and I'm off guard, but I'm trying to like play it smooth and just whip a knife out at them.
Yeah, man, dude, you can do that. Take 2 stress to roll your best, and I mean, that does bring up an interesting.
So I want to know.
Yes, I think that works because take 2 stress to roll your best action rating while performing a different action.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I still think that works, even though this is a group action.
Like for my character, I mean, I want that to be that like lucky devil blood coming and like helping me out just a little bit all the time. Like I'm off guard, but I gotta throw a knife at someone.
Right.
That's right, because
So
your
what is-
character has
Sway.
demon blood, right?
Yeah, what is your best action rating?
Sway, I think. Let me find it again.
Yeah, it's Sway. It's 2. It's on the character tab.
Yeah, there we go.
So
Uh,
how do you use your Sway in order to
Let me.
more effectively murder these people?
Okay, hold on a sec.
And while he's thinking about that, as Silas, because I rolled a 1, as Silas is rearing up to punch a guy, and I'm also, I can't really tell that he's trying to punch this guy because Silas is just going crazy, but I also try to swing my cane at the head of the other guy, and so obviously that guy's head, it goes a different direction than it was intended to go, so I miss. I didn't hit anything, and when it's a 1, I take a harm or something, right? Or does that matter on
Not-
active action?
Not in this. The
Okay,
the
because
failure
it's
is that
action.
I take stress. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
So maybe I accidentally hit Silas with my cane a little bit, not hard, but I hit him with it. I'm like, oh, sorry, dude.
Yeah, and that's why I
Dude.
need what case this is roll, so I know if you take another stress or not.
Okay, sure.
So
Keep in mind that I am gonna rip these dudes apart because I'm super angry now on some
I'm
Jesus.
juice.
And you just
Oh,
got hit
okay,
by your
wait.
friend's cane.
I know exactly what's gonna happen here.
Yeah. You
Okay.
be brainstorming how to describe this action here.
So my sway roll is that the action of cleaning off my shoes, making sure I'm presentable and slick is like a genetic thing. It's built in so that this added information if I have to throw a knife right now, it's just part of the whole action. I'm like basically shining my shoe and then a knife comes out. It's not even
Okay.
it's about
It's fine.
Shining your
I
shoe.
was just thinking you're doing it all sexily, ooh, look at me, boys. But distracted by.
And they're just
Right.
like, wait, why are you polishing your shoes? We're fighting right now. I'm dead.
Is that oh, I'm dead. Oh no, I have died.
Cam died.
Oh
So do
boy.
I roll in the extra or just the 0 in that one on sway?
Depends on if you want to push yourself or ask for a devil's bargain or not.
I don't think
Uh,
it's. I don't think you should.
I'm
Yeah.
just gonna roll. I'm already taking 2 stress on it.
Yeah, man. Nice.
My man.
You did roll a 2 though, so you are going to take another stress.
Wait, what?
Hold on a second. No, when it says you take a stress for each 1 or 2 or 3 roll, does that mean highest roll or?
No, that's if so Oscar failed his roll because his highest was a 1, so it was a failure essentially. If Ocasis had failed, then I'd take another stress, but he succeeded.
Yeah, so it's for
Yeah.
each person's roll.
Yeah, so it only accounts for the highest roll, not every dice that they roll.
No. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so you only take 1 stress from that then.
Yeah.
How do you rip these dudes apart with your increased strength and aggression?
So I think what happens is he lunges at the guys and straight up like punches one in like the face, who recoils, and then straight up like I think probably what happens is Case's dagger flies out and hits him in the neck, and he just goes, "I'm dead," and just like falls over onto the ground. Because my initial punch wouldn't have killed him, it probably would have it broke like his nose and his like teeth, but like whatever happened, like just straight up like murdered him. And then I turn to the other two, and as I grab one guy around the neck, and like I'm holding him at bay so he can't do anything, and like I look at the other guy and like I give him like this just feral, like monstrous look, and I like take the dude I'm holding and throw it at him.
Throw the guy at him?
Yeah,
Throw
yeah.
a motherfucker at another motherfucker.
I don't even throw him. I literally
Yes.
pick him up and start beating him with it, with him.
Yes.
So I'm attacking a dude with another dude. And so they're both just getting beat up by this like maelstrom of limbs and stuff that are just getting tangled. And then I like kind of take the guy that I have with by the neck, and I like snap his neck and like toss him aside, and I just jump on the last dude and I just start like beating him into the mat, and he can't even do anything about it because he's so dazed about the fact that I beat him with his best friend. So he's so confused with the situation. He's like, "What is this even possible?" And I think like we
Can't
like get
carry
this.
a man. Can't carry a man.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm back. I'm good.
Okay, so after which he like steps off of the body, and like I like to think like there's blood all over Silas, like at least his fists and maybe a little on like his sleeves and stuff, and he like stands up.
Do you look
And it kinda-
like the narrator from Fight Club after he totally beats up Angel Face?
I think the parallels there definitely. It's not as yeah. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I'm covered in blood. Yeah, whatever. You don't beat a dude to death with another dude essentially, and get away with it. So like without blood. So, I stand up after this, and this took like 10 seconds to do. And I kind of like stand up and I'm looking at the guy that I just killed.
The 3 guys you just killed.
Well, yeah, I'm looking at specifically the one that I beat with another man. And I think like probably what had happened was, yeah, he's just standing there and he's like breathing really heavily. You know, his rage is starting to subside, but it's still kind of there. And I just look up at Silas and Wakasis. Just give him like, "What up?"
What case is like looks at him, looks at all the blood, like gets his nose with the handkerchief and offers him some trans powder. Here, this might take the edge off.
Yeah, so the effects of the rage spell last for a few minutes. So
Yeah.
or several minutes it says. So
No,
you're
I'm
still
still angry.
you're still jacked up, man.
I think he, as Wakasis extends the trance powder, which as Silas is a criminal, I know that what he's giving me is going to put me to sleep. Because that's what trance powder does.
Just a little bit.
Just a little. Just a little. Yeah.
touch.
What would trance powder in the slightest amount of dose do, Mike? To you, what would that do?
Well, if you're not taking a full dose, then I would say, oh man,
Is it like cocaine where I start getting a buzz? Like,
It'll just bounce him out. He'll be good. It'll be good.
That's not how that works.
It'll bring him down a notch.
as long as this thing doesn't knock me out.
it wouldn't make you unconscious, but I would say that, oh man, your body would not respond well to having Rage Essence Vial and Trance Powder within a span of a few minutes, you'd probably take a stress or two.
What would it do to, like, would there be any benefits to doing this?
You would definitely
Would it extend the rage, maybe?
wouldn't extend the rage. It would calm you down right quick, like to the point where it would almost be like you wouldn't be able to focus very well. You know, it'd be like you're half asleep.
Okay, then I think Silas is more like the anger's growing, and he's like, he doesn't want to.
Right.
Yeah. He kind of like looks at it, and he kind of like glares at Wakasis, like, don't even try to bring me down from this high, man. And then he looks at like Oscar, and he's like, we are going to go over to that vault and get in there right fucking now.
So there's this moment actually during this after you've killed everyone and when you react to a cases in the way you do, where Oscar's face goes from like, wow, that was awesome, how did you do that, to like it's hard for you to read probably because you're on rage drug, but like there's this moment where Oscar kind of gives this look that maybe what Cases sees of like, it's not disgust, but it's like disappointment almost. It's just like, it's like, I'm deeply disturbed by the way you reacted in that moment.
To what?
To the way that you reacted to Wakasis, and the way you were like, in your statement, like, don't bring me down from this high. I'm deeply.
Well, that's what Silas is like feeling. What he's projecting is he's just glaring at Wakasis.
Oh.
He just gives it like this look, like glares at him, like, why are you? Like,
sure. Then if you didn't like utter those words, there's still this like it's.
No,
it's,
I
it's
didn't
a,
say
it's
those.
Sure, it's like a far less degree because you didn't say
Yeah.
that, but like there's still this moment of like he like I realize Oscar realizes that Wakasis is handing him like something that's like gonna not make you the way you are right now, and you're like, no, like you just kind of glare at him, and there's this moment of like Oscar's just a little bit put off. I would say put off is the right degree of I'm at, or the Oscar's
Okay.
at with that. So
okay.
for reasons that none of you guys know, but
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that right now how Silas is acting is he's basically going, we're going over there right now. If you don't, and he does say this, he's like, we're going over there right now. And if you don't want to, I am.
let me get my cane. I'll follow you.
And have you guys seen, like, have you ever played Dragon Age? No?
Fun.
Any of them? You know how, like, blood splatters your characters in Dragon Age when you attack
Yeah.
and stuff? That's what Silas looks right now.
Okay. So you guys, you want to head over to the vault?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what they're doing, but I, like,
Yes.
open the door and stride across the courtyard to the vault.
I like shrug and like step over the bodies and follow him out.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It appears that for the moment, the room, the entryway that you're in, is empty. Can't see anyone at the moment, so it appears that as long as you're able to get over to the vault pretty quickly, then you haven't encountered anyone that's going to stop you at the moment.
All right.
One lucky
Yeah.
break for you.
Yeah, I think, like, Silas, like, strides over to the vault and he stands next to it, and he's still, like, breathing really heavily, like... And, like, the rage is just emanating from his body, but he's, like, doing really, really hard trying to contain it and not take it out on Wakasis and, like, Oscar. I think, like, probably, like, you can see, like, when he glared at Wakasis and when he addressed them, like saying we're going over there, that was, like, him letting out a little bit of his steam. Like, this is, like, he's really angry, but he's, like, holding it back, so instead of, like, essentially attacking you guys, he's being really rough with you, so.
So you guys, you're in front of the vault, and you see a combination dial and a big crank. And how do you guys try to approach that for the moment.
I have burglary tools.
Okay.
And so I imagine I have a stethoscope in there. And so
Okay.
I walk over and put a stethoscope thing in my ears, and I try to crack a safe.
One safe to be cracked. That would be... I think that sounds like a finessey thing to do. What do you
I was
think?
gonna
about-
say it's almost Tinker.
Yeah, I was going to
Tinker?
argue for
Yeah.
Tinker as well, because it is...
I
Yeah,
think that makes sense.
I'm using a gadget to do it, is my
Yeah.
justification for it.
Definitely Tinker.
Okay.
All right. DB or push yourself.
Can I hear your devil's bargain and then choose? Is that an option?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
That's always an
I'll
option.
hear your devil's
Yep.
bargain.
Hearing the devil's bargain does not imply you accept the devil's bargain.
Right, I just didn't know if like hearing it was like, okay, you can't take anything else after that now. So,
Yeah.
cool, I will hear your devil's bargain.
So, I think that the devil's bargain for this would have to be you're able to open up the vault, but let's see.
The butt, everything before the butt, I agree.
Yeah.
It's the after.
hold
butt
on a
that I
second.
don't-
The devil's bargain can't automatically imply success,
Oh,
though.
okay.
So,
So I would just
the-
get a bonus on it.
Yeah,
I have a suggestion, maybe.
please go ahead.
It's gonna take, maybe it takes more time that you
Okay.
do it, and we like the trainees that were coming for that room that I murdered 3 men in with the help of cases, they get there.
Okay. So, the devil's bargain takes too much time. Yeah, it takes too much time, and the dead bodies are discovered before
Yeah.
you're able to, or either before you're able to open the vault, or as you are getting into the vault.
Is there any way to? I mean, obviously we have to get out of the vault too, right? So, is there any way
Yeah.
to like work with that such that during that time I would have been able to say to Silas like, "Hey, it's taking me a minute. Do you mind getting into that room where you killed those men because you are covered in blood, and I don't want someone to come out into this hallway and think, why is this man covered in blood and opening our safe? I'd rather them just see, why is he opening our safe? That sounds like something I could answer better." Is that something that can be done?
Yeah.
Okay.
Conversations
sure.
can still happen.
Sure. Okay. Then I will take that devil's bargain.
Okay.
And so there's this moment where Oscar kind of goes to the safe and he's put on his stethoscope and he realizes that it's pretty hard to hear it and he's like, "Silas, if you don't mind, I can hear the blood dripping on the floor. And look, I appreciate what you've done, but perhaps if you went back in that room and hung out the he like looks at a watch. He's like, the trainees that are coming in 3 minutes. Perhaps this time they won't run away scared, and maybe you'll be able to catch them by surprise too. I don't think you need to make as much a mess as you did this time, maybe, but to each their own. I've just got to get this open. I think what cases could probably probably is such a hard word to say, by the way. Probably cover for me while I open this. He's a smooth talker.
Mike, if I go back and wait for these students to get there, will the rage essence still be affecting me?
Not by the time they get there. It'd wear off by then.
I think...
Well, wouldn't it wear off like regardless? Maybe I have it the geographical difference too far.
Well, yeah, I was just asking because it says several minutes, so I don't know how long it lasts. Yeah, I think Silas would kind of be like, "You want me to hang out with the dead bodies where we know people are going to be coming?"
Well, they're going to be walking right past us. It's my understanding that if you guys can see my webcam, right? If this is like a hallway, this is the room where all the dead bodies are, and here's the safe, and we walked out of here and we're opening it here, but here is where they will be coming from. That's my understanding. Correct me if I'm wrong,
Here.
because that kind of matters.
You can this is more along like a this like isn't even like I'm just like saying like you want me to do this like yes or no kind of like he gives you like this look like.
Yeah, okay, then yeah, I explained to you. I'm like, well, again, it's not about you hiding away where they'll be. It's more about you hiding away
Yeah,
where
he's
they
like,
won't
this
be
is
for a
taking
moment.
too long to. He like, as soon as you start like going like, don't say, just say yes. You're like, like, oh well, this is the. He's
Right.
like the rage is like still there, and he just walks. He just does it.
I kind
He's
of
like, you're.
I just very calmly put my stethoscope back in and continue working.
I like point at him. I'm like, do I need to go with him or?
Silas like walks over to the door, opens it up, turns around, and he stares at them as he slams the door, and then proceeds to stand with like right in the doorway. So whoever opens the door
We'll just see like
will
bags.
just like, well, like I mean, he's not a giant. They'll
I
just
know,
see
I
like a man in a doorway covered in blood.
So so I look at Wikasis and I say, it's up to you. If you think you can benefit me by talking your way out of this one, or talking our way out of this one, I'd appreciate your help. But for the time being, I just need quiet.
I drew a pretty picture
Oh, did you?
on roll 20.
Okay, it's too big. Safe, sewer. This is I
I ran out of room, okay?
That's fair.
Okay,
And then-
so you have the staircase, right? Let's see if I can I ping? Want to ping? I want to ping.
And
Do
Let's go
this.
to the mouse one.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, we have the staircase here and the balcony, right? Underneath the balcony, like the hallway goes and then goes underneath the balcony, so it's covered, is where the safe is. Then you come out that hallway, and then there's the training room on that side of the big room. Then there's a sewer entrance or the tunnel entrance on that side of the big room. And so you guys don't necessarily know which direction or where the trainees would be coming from. They could be coming from, up here, or they could be coming from the sewer. You don't
Sure,
necessarily know.
I doubt they're coming from the sewer, but I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, well then, I think the plan still stands, because eventually they're going to be trying to go to the training room, right? So.
I'm gonna kind of like carefully position myself exactly between the training room and the safe, and just kind of stand there.
Before you leave, actually, I like hand you some documents. Just they're total trash. They're nothing, but like they're just like they're like drafts of like bills for something, and I'm like, maybe it like makes you look like you belong a little bit more.
Put it on a clipboard.
Thanks.
Yeah, I mean it's the equivalent of like a clipboard.
Yeah, I'll take him.
My plan, guys, is to do a kind of do a ruse, if you will, wherein I am like my whole thing is, hey, I'm here to check on your safe's quality. If I can break into it, then you need a new one. So, like that's my angle.
Go ahead and make your tinker roll.
Okay, I will do that.
Let's try to make this roll, and then we'll call it.
Okay, and
Or
remind me, did we do any?
You
we
took
did
the Devil's Bargain.
Okay, so I do get one.
Yeah, you did.
Okay, I was like,
You get an extra die.
Yeah. Okay. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Stream.
This
every time-
is a risky position.
So what does that affect with my roll? Do I change the number at all?
You don't change the number at all. It just
the outcome is.
the outcome is going to be worse if you fail.
Here we go. It's a 4.
That's a success.
Hey.
So
Wait,
you
look at my
do
notes.
it.
Sorry, John posted something funny in the chat. You're not supposed to be
Wait,
in this sword
am I-
school, but wait, look at my documents.
Hey man, it works for me. So you do it, but there's a complication, reduced effect, or you end up in a desperate position.
Perhaps they see a trail of blood droplets from when Silas walked away.
Yeah.
Or something.
You're
This
gonna
is just a proposition.
you're gonna do it. So you're tinkering, and it takes you a few minutes. And as you're working, you hear voices getting closer, and you are sweating.
Yeah. knees
nervous.
weak, arms are spaghetti.
Yeah, and you're trying to get this, and you hear a first click, and you keep going, second click, and then the voices they keep getting closer, and you hear them coming down the stairs. You hear footsteps coming down the stairs, just as you hear this third click, and you hear a larger chunk sound as the big bars retract themselves from the safe wall, and at around that time, you hear a voice. It's like, hey, is that blood? And scene.
Awesome.
We're gonna call that for the night.
Okay, sounds good. Well, wow. This was a good session. This was fun. There be blood.
Arby blood.
Cool. Well, first of all, thanks for joining us for week 3, everybody. This has been a really fun game, and I appreciate the help as we continue to play. Some of you guys in the chat have played this game before, and that's really helpful to us because the game is a lot of fun, but it's not the traditional role-playing experience, and which is great, by the way. I'm really appreciating the fact that I don't feel like there's like any of these clunky things that I feel like I run into a lot with D&D or other games. We ran into some with Age of Rebellion too, and even though that system was an improvement on the sort of typical D&D system as well, but this feels really smooth and it's been an enjoyable experience. So thank you guys for watching. But don't go anywhere because real quick we're going to do some little hooks and plugs for everybody. Oh,
XP.
XP. Oh, yeah, no, you're totally right. Let's do it.
We don't forget
So
XP,
sorry.
boys.
Yeah, my bad.
Alright, so, everyone, I remember a desperate roll. Did everyone remember to mark their XP when that happened?
I did not.
Go
I
ahead
did.
and. So that was a
I have to-
desperate fight action, so we all rolled skirmish except for Casus, who rolled sway instead.
Yeah.
So whichever attribute category you guys rolled that desperate action in, you get to add 1 to that big out of 6 at the top of that.
Yeah.
Wait, say that again.
Oh. So for most of you that's going to be prowess. You're going to add 1 to that for the desperate action roll.
Oh,
For
Wait.
Casus, what?
Hold on.
What?
So
to the pool of 6.
I'm adding a point in my prowess?
Yep.
Like permanently?
Yeah, because when you get to 6 prowess, you get to reset that and then get 1 level in finesse prowl skirmisher rep.
Yeah, I think we had a
Oh.
confusion on your sheet. We thought that this ticker, which is supposed to be for XP, was for our resistance rolls for essentially our stats for prowess and stuff and insight. So I know I started off by putting all my stuff into that, but I took it out and I marked it down somewhere else, and
Understood.
I fixed it. So
Okay, we can
essentially-
resolve that on my character sheet after this.
Yeah.
After this is offline.
Yep.
Um,
Okay. Yeah. So
and actually, it'll probably be on Anthony's sheet as well because I remember I did Anthony's sheet. So.
Yeah. And Anthony, you're gonna mark that in resolve because you rolled sway for that desperate action. Let's check it out.
I'll just put a note about it.
Yeah, just put a note about it. We'll try to resolve all that once we get off live.
Nice.
So we want to check out your playbook advancement XP stuff. So you also get a mark an XP in your playbook advancement for rolling a desperate action.
that's not. I checked. That doesn't happen.
Yeah, you do.
It says it
Yeah,
in
that's
the mark.
definitely- Yeah, that's definitely in
Where?
the book. You mark XP
Where?
when you roll a desperate action.
It's on the
Yes,
playbook.
that's the XP for your attribute. Like we just did that.
But in playbook advancement, it also says mark XP when you roll a desperate action. On the playbooks, like if you go to let's go to the Cutter playbook over on the journal side, you can see under playbook advancement it says mark XP when you roll a desperate action. John is still in the chat. He'll probably, if you could jump in, if I'm doing it completely wrong, then.
That was
fantastic.
just my perception. I could be wrong, but that's what just I thought it was.
So, well, because that whole section on the in the rulebook sheet has those playbook advancement marks just right above it.
Yeah, but this
so-
is sheet. If you go to advancement, it'll show you how to put those out. So it'll say mark XP each time you make a desperate action you rolled, in the attribute of the action you rolled.
Okay, PC advancement.
Sure. Okay. I think Okay.
Okay, yeah, I think that's
But
Okay,
do
yeah.
we also? I think do we also mark it in the bottom playbook advancement because we're just advancing our playbook?
it's. I think it's just the attribute that you rolled.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I'm
Okay.
looking in the
Understood.
page 18 of the handbook. PC advancement. Each player keeps track of experience points during the game session. You mark XP each time you make a desperate action. Mark the XP in the attribute for the action you rolled. When you roll in a group action that is desperate, you also mark XP.
So the way it works is that like rolling desperate action gets essentially your stats up for the dice rolls, and then your playbook advancement, like your triggers, like doing things for minus with violence and threats, that goes into either your playbook advancement or those same attributes.
Right. So John just said that Admiral Duck Sauce has it correct here. It says Admiral Duck Sauce says the desperate XP goes to the attributes. The solve problems with your X thing, you know, whether it's violence or arcane stuff, goes to the playbook, and the learning about your background is free floating. So okay, that makes sense.
Yep.
As we'll have to go back and do some work on our previous session, but that's okay. Good to know.
So
Silas,
sorry. Did you resolve any of your problems with violence and threats?
I'd say so.
I don't know if I can buy that argument, you know?
Use drugs, baby.
Yeah, so you get a mark XP for that.
Yeah.
There was 2 separate conflicts. Was there? No, there's one for this session.
There was one. And how it kind of works with the XP in the like with your playbook tributes. It's like if you did it at least once, like if you solved violence and threat with like if I solved the problem with violence and threat at least once, I mark 1. Sure. If it happened a bunch, I'll mark 2.
Okay.
Sure. And with the desperate action, it's just every time you roll a desperate action, you do it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Thanks. I understand now.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that situation there is, at least for killing those guys, I agree with that. And I think like this is my thing. Like I think I expressed my beliefs within essentially when I took the Rage Essence and not trying to hurt Wakasis and Oscar and kind of dumbing it down, because Silas's natural instinct is to then take out the aggression that he's like bottling up. Because I pictured the Rage Essence as like it grows to this proportion, and he let it like he expelled some of it into the force of essentially beating a man to death with another man. And then like where does that go after that? Like it's still building up until it releases. And so he kind of like in the way that I see it is like this is his belief that yeah, he's kind of his whole belief system is based off of power, and by not essentially messing with you guys and causing problems, he's like, okay, in order to get more power, I have to do this, even though it's causing me problems, and like I essentially like do this.
You're showing that you value the teamwork that we have and the ability for us to work together over raw power.
Yeah, that's fine. I like that. You can mark an XP for that.
Very cool.
Wakasis. Oh, did you have anything else, Ian?
No, that's it.
That's it.
Okay. Wakasis, let's see. We're gonna deal with your desperate action stuff later. Did you address a tough challenge with was it deception or influence?
I think so. I had to cover for these 2 as best I could.
Yeah. So you get a mark at XP for that.
Okay. Where does that go?
That is on your playbook tab.
Advancement. Boop.
Yep. And did you express your beliefs, drives, heritages, or background?
So this is a more convoluted one, because I mean I tricked those guys, but I was wondering if my lucky demon magic Rook's Gambit type play counts in that category, or if it's more about what I do with that, whether or not that expressed my values.
Sorry, the chat's excellent.
It is
pretty good.
The chat's really on par tonight. It's on. I think that I can buy that. What about you guys?
Yeah.
What? I'm sorry, I was distracted by chat. What was it?
Go ahead.
I mean, I was basically asking if it's more important that my lucky demon magic is expressed, and like you're going to start learning about how that works from those things, or is it more important what my Rook's Gambit accomplishes, whether or not that speaks to my heritage, my background?
I think that I think you expressed your heritage in that way.
Yeah. I think it's all about intent.
Yeah.
On your part. If you are trying to do something and with the intention of expressing your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background,
or in my character's case, not trying to express something and doing it anyways.
Yeah, even if it's an unintentional thing that just you allow to come through in your role playing as a byproduct of something, I think that's fine.
I think so too. So that's another playbook advancement.
Yep.
Okay. Awesome.
And Oscar, did you address a tough challenge with arcane power or knowledge?
So my immediate thought was that I did that by having Willie take Lyric home, but I feel like that was also kind of a cop out because as far as just the like managing the game goes, we had to have some way to have Lyric be out of the session for the session. So yes in that, but I think also yes in that I continued to use my my spirit mask. Thank you. I almost said night vision goggles.
Yeah.
My spirit vision goggles to look around. This is kind of loose though. I'm willing to take no XP for it because again, my primary ghost guy was off doing another thing this whole session. So I'm curious.
I kind of feel like this is just this is my opinion, but I feel like rather than the like ghosty stuff that Oscar accomplished, the XP that he's gained from this is almost more along the lines of like the document forging and like the opening of the safe and stuff like that, more of like his belief system, because I feel like we got to see him a little more like
his
study.
He's
he's poring over stuff.
But is that
arcane
so knowledge?
Right. No, so that's definitely what I was going to say for the part about understanding his background, because he did a lot of stuff involving his background, cracking his safe, looking at or handing out documents and having a document for it, and generally acting cool the whole time and like just kind of going along with it. Like this whole thing was totally right up Oscar's alley as far as like his background. But as far as using arcane power or knowledge, really like he used arcane power to have Willie possess a guy. Which is I in a way it could be useful because again that's something that that he doesn't do, so he addressed the challenge by doing that of figuring out what to do with Lyric, but I do want to leave that one open. I'm just content with taking nothing or taking the one. I'm curious what you guys think.
Yeah, I think that you definitely get an XP for the spirit mask and using that.
Sure.
And
that goes in my playbook advancement, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And I do believe that I did a good job of addressing Willie's or Oscar's background, and actually Willie's too, because of that moment of like I don't really do this. This possession thing is not what I like to do. That's one of Willie's beliefs in general, is he does not. That's not his type of ghosty power that he likes to use.
I feel like you definitely got 2 from that, because I feel like it triggered a lot during this session.
Right, like I had that for Willie, and then I had a bunch of stuff for Oscar, like when he kind of had that moment of disappointment in Silas, for his actions.
I think that if nothing else, that moment specifically would earn you XP for that, because you allowed that to come through, and even though you didn't outright say something about it, you did express it.
Right.
As a character. So.
Sure. So am I taking 2 for that or 1?
I think 2.
You think 2? I think 2's fine.
What about you, Anthony?
I think it works.
Okay. Then I will take 2 on it. Yeah. Cool. And Mike, do you think you roleplayed your beliefs or? Just kidding.
My beliefs that everyone is out to kill you.
Yeah. Hey, so question for all you guys: How close are we to the playbook advancement? Now I have to. I think I have to take one of mine away and attribute it to an action instead.
Okay.
But if that's the case, I think I'm only 2 away from a playbook advancement.
I see that. Silas is 3 away,
Okay.
and Wacasis is 4 away.
Cool. We're getting there. Lyric's gonna be a little bit behind, but that is okay. Because it
Yeah.
doesn't seem like the levels are super important.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
it's
Oh,
not
it's 'cause
critical
I was
for
like- It's because I wasn't so desperate last time. That's why.
Right. Okay. Well, is that it for XP then?
I believe so.
Cool, man. And you guys are saying it in the chat, but
What
guys-
about our crew?
Oh, word.
That's right. Crew advancement. Yeah, and I've been following what the chat's been saying, just so you guys know. I'm trying to keep up with it while keeping up with what everyone is saying, and definitely am taking your guys' feedback for sure. So I appreciate all the feedback that everyone, such as Admiral Duxos, is giving, Sith Master, and John. Obviously, all your feedback is appreciated and is being taken into consideration. Thank you.
Okay, so how do we level up this crew?
Crew. Thief's playbook.
The Gambit.
Okay.
Sorry, Siri decided to decided to wake up.
Play the game.
Siri, how do we level up our crew?
Does crew level ups only trigger at the end of scores or during downtime? Let's see.
It totally could be just downtime.
At the end of each session, review the. It's at the end of each session. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's there. All right. So, the things for that are execute a profitable burglary, robbery, or theft. You have not done that yet.
Not yet.
We're
It
getting
has
there.
not fully been executed.
We
Improve
executed
quality
3
of
guys.
your-
Well,
Did-
Silas did.
Contend with challenges
I got
above
one.
your current station.
Hey, we
I
did
think
that.
we get 1 for that.
I think you're doing that. Yeah. Bolster your crew's reputation or
Boom.
develop a new one. You guys are in the process of developing a reputation. I don't know if it's.
I feel
We've
like
set yet.
that'll happen next session.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
When it finally gets out that
agree.
I murdered 3 men.
Yeah.
Yeah, or
I
that I
think-
become friends with these guys to rob them, you know?
Yeah.
Or that I slept with that other guy's wife, you know?
Yeah.
Just
And I'll get heat because they'll remember my penis in that room. They'll be like, ah! I'm helping everybody.
Most of these you guys won't get till you finish the score, but I think that at the very least, contend with challenges above your current station. You
Yeah.
guys can mark 1 for that.
So I marked
Pretty
that in
soon.
the crew advancement thing.
Yes.
Cool.
Everyone should be keeping track of that, just so that we can try to have some consistency. Because I can't have a individual crew sheet yet,
Right.
unless we just make another character sheet and label it as the Gambit and only care about the
That's a way we could do it.
crew tab.
But we can handle
That's
that
one-
offline.
Yeah. All right.
Anything else with
That's
XP?
That's all for XP.
Awesome.
Yep.
Well, now let's go ahead and go to hooks and plugs. This is the part of the show where we tell you about the rest of our lives real quick before we let you go. So, Anthony, how about you started us off? What have you been up to, man? And what would you like to hook and or plug?
I didn't realize this would be a problem for me, but Overwatch has been out of our lives for more than a week now, and we still have a week to go. And I didn't realize I was going to have withdrawals about that game, but I really want to play it.
Die,
So now I have to. Yeah, exactly. That's
Dude,
me.
speaking of Overwatch, did you guys see the Dragons cinematic?
Yes, that's
Dude.
adorable.
Yeah.
Super
That was
good.
some
Those are-
dope shit.
Just super
pretty
good.
neat. Did you guys see the video of the guy who predicted exactly what would happen in it and got it almost exactly right?
Nope.
I will find that and link it in the chat
Awesome.
because it's hilarious. That's it.
Cool. Mike. Oh wait, Anthony. Any news about that board game you were beta testing?
Not yet. The guy went back and I think he's completely revised the board of the board game for like the 4th or 5th. He's very dedicated to making sure it's like really awesome before it ever
Okay.
sees the light of day.
God bless him for that.
From what I've seen, it looks like even cooler. Every time it looks better and better. He's a graphic designer, so he like fully designs it every time. He has a full like an iteration of the game, which is nuts. Like professional graphic design every time. So it's gonna be really cool, and I will let the group know for sure.
Very cool.
And what's that called?
It's called Epoch, the Traveler's
Okay,
Age.
that's right. Yeah.
And there's definitely a website, but there's no Kickstarter yet. But there will be one.
Cool.
It's pretty neat. The game has changed a lot. I like both times I've played it, it's been pretty different. Although there's like these core ideas he has and some core design choices they're always the same. So.
And I'm sure we'll hear more about it.
Oh, yeah.
As you know.
Definitely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Mike, how about you, my man?
I am gonna. What am I doing?
Hooking
Yes.
and plugging.
I am playing Dark Souls 3 still. I got really upset the other day because I'm fighting the Nameless King, and if you have played Dark Souls 3 or know much about it, you know that I am proud. Yes.
Dude, he's so cool looking.
He is a dope freaking boss. I love his design to death, but I was fighting him. I was doing really well, you know, getting some good dodge timing in there, getting some good hits, and got him down to within one hit of winning. Then I ran out of stamina.
Oh no!
I ran out of stamina, and I was like,
position.
press swing button. Boss is standing there. He's not. I'm not swinging. Oh, he's trying to hit me. I should probably try to roll, but I really just want to kill him. Ooh, oh, I got hit. Oh, I should probably roll. Oh, nope. I'm dead.
The classic Dark Souls dying move.
Too tired.
Really.
I was so salty.
Yeah.
It was depressing, and I had to turn that game off for the rest of that day, just to cool down. Boy, I love that game.
Yeah.
I love that game so much.
What about you, Ian? What are you hooking and plugging this week?
Well, I got a couple things. One is that I keep seeing this. I think I don't know, maybe I got it on Facebook or something, but the Dark Souls 3 board game.
Oh yeah,
is in Kickstarter.
On Kickstarter.
Yeah, it's freaking dope. Like the amount of money that they got for it to like make figurines so that you can go into dungeons and fight like bosses from the game is crazy. And like, I don't know, I want to look more into it, just see how it runs and stuff. But it looks like, apparently what I've heard is it's really like, it keeps that kind of feeling that the Souls game has at heart, difficulty and like, you know, accomplishment. So I'm looking forward to that. I've also been playing, I just bought Civ 5, the complete edition. So I've been playing that a little bit. I also got this game that's very similar. It's called Armello. It's like I don't know, it's like a cross between Civ and just like an RPG essentially, where you play as heroes that go around this city and like, well, around this like foresty area kind of like this land, and like it's a king who's all corrupted and stuff, and it's interesting. It's kind of along the lines of Civ, except for it doesn't take as much thought, which is kind of up my alley, because Civ's one of those games where it's like, well, what do I want to do now? I have like 5 different researches. What do I research? Like, I'm not the type of person that min-maxes games very well. I don't think that way. So, you know, it's a learning process for me. I'm just kind of I don't know what I'm doing when I'm playing Civ. So it's still fun though.
Sure. Very cool. Did you have anything else you wanted to? Okay.
No, I'm still working on the art of the characters though.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
barely, but you know, eventually I'll have like this inspiration and get them all done. So
yeah, well, you have some of them done, and I'm really excited about the way they look already. It's actually, so for me, it's really helpful, and I don't know if this is the same for you, chat, but it's really helpful for me to be able to see what my character looks like when I'm role-playing a character, simply because if I don't, I find myself interjecting my own physical self into what my character might try to do. So it's really cool to see people's different art styles with that. I tried my hand at drawing my D&D character back in the day, and it ended up just being okay, I guess. Anyway, but Ian's done a great job. He's a very good artist, so yeah, I'm really excited about that. And I guess I will transition now into my hooks and plugs. First thing I'd like to hook and plug is Emily. Emily is not with us this week. She was not feeling well, and also had the opportunity to get a promotion which required her to stay at work a little bit longer to like work on the application process. So she wasn't able to join us tonight, but she's an awesome cast member here. We really enjoy having her around. It's cool because last time, the Age of Rebellion was her first role-playing game at all, and this is her second time playing a role-playing game, but she hops right into it. She's really fun and good, and an enjoyable person to have around. She also has a YouTube channel, which I will now put into the chat.
They just got
It's-
10,000 subscribers too.
Yeah, it's youtube.com/MIDSophia. She does reviews of Game of Thrones and other TV shows and movies sometimes as well. And she also uploads original music occasionally. She's a very talented musician and does a good job there. She just hit 10,000 subscribers, which is really great. And if you like any of that, you should go subscribe to her channel on YouTube. It's a good time. As far as my personal hooks and plugs go, this is what I do on the internet. I am here with Friendly Fire TV. There was a period about 2 weeks ago where I was streaming a lot, and that was awesome. But now it's been crazy busy elsewhere, so I actually still have an arena run from Hearthstone from 2 weeks ago that I haven't even. I told the stream I'm not going to touch it until we're streaming it again. So we're currently 4-1 with our Warrior arena run, which is a sweet record. I'm really happy about it, and I'm happy to continue it probably. Probably this weekend. I'm hoping I'll get to start it. And if you want to know when we're going to be doing stuff, you can follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter is twitter.com/friendlyfiretv. We tweet out anytime we're streaming anything, and we're trying to get all of us to be able to stream stuff. Right now, it's mainly myself and sometimes Mike, but the goal is that eventually we'll all be able to do our own streaming content here, including some tabletop board game stuff, more role-playing games, some general video games. And if you have suggestions, we love to hear it. I'm on that Twitter all the time, so if you want to get a hold of us there, you can follow us there and get a hold of me, and I will go forward there. Additionally, if you want to follow each one of us individually, you can see our Twitter handles underneath our names, but you can follow all our Twitters there. I just linked them in the chat. And last but not least, or not last but not least, but close to last, you can follow us on YouTube. All the VODs, sorry, that's the wrong command. All the VODs go up on YouTube. Probably by the end of the week. Totally depends on how my work schedule is, to be entirely honest. But I upload the VODs of this to the YouTube, so if you like tuned in and you're like, hey, this is great, but I didn't see the first 2 episodes. Hey, you can go check those out. They're in this format. They're on YouTube. There's a playlist, and you can check them all out there. It's really great and a fun time to have those there. Comment there if you want to. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe.
Yep.
And the actual last but not least is, Ian, would you please point down? Just below Ian is the follow button. If you haven't hit it already, you should hit that, and your name will appear up there where it says newest scoundrel, and it currently says Blaziazelski. Yeah, that'll notify you anytime we go live here. And we do go live here every Tuesday evening at 6:30 p.m. And if there's any changes to that, we'll update it on the little. There's like a little thing underneath our Twitch video that shows that. Excuse me. And additionally, I'll tweet it out when we do stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you had a good time. Make sure to let us know how we're doing in the chat. Tweet at us how we're doing. We love your feedback, and if there's any way that we can improve the experience, whether it's in better audio quality. By the way, thank you, Admiral Duck Sauce, for following. Welcome to the Friendship Squad. We haven't decided. Welcome to this. And thank
Just
you
call it
for hanging
the
out.
friend zone.
Yeah, welcome to the friend zone.
It'll make you feel a little bad about yourself when you.
But yeah. Anyway,
Oh my.
that's it. I know that's a lot. I just went on a little mouthful rant, but yeah. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys are having a good time watching this. I know we're having a really good time playing it, and I look forward to coming back next Tuesday, May 24th at 6:30 p.m. Here on twitch.tv/friendlyfiretv. Thanks for watching.
Hey Matt, I got a question for you.
You just ruined the perfect outro.
Hey Matt.
It was so good. What's
Matt,
up, dude?
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Are we gonna play Rocket League after this?
Not after the way you just ruined that. Oh gosh.
Hey guys,
sure.
we'll see you in a little bit with some Rocket League.
Okay, yeah. Well, maybe. Probably not though. Your boy's tired. Your boy should go to sleep.
Nope.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for watching, everybody, and have a good night.